Cool. Well, this will be the first of 8 technical walkthroughs today. So first up is actually one of our newest employees at PureStake, Kevin Neilson, from our developer relations team. So he's going to take you through a bunch of different tools, tooling and infrastructure on Moonbeam. And he's also going to kind of give you a first look at the EVM, more compatible EVM block explorer that we just released. So I'll hand it over to you, Kevin, and I'll drop off.
Thank you so much. Okay, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at Illuminate 21, celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the announcement of the Moonbeam project. And today I'm really excited to give you an introduction to Moonbeam developer tools and integrations. So a little bit of information about me. My name is Kevin Neilson. I'm a developer relations engineer at PureStake, and I have about 4 years of experience building financial applications in a commercial setting. And I have several years of experience in the Ethereum ecosystem as well. So a little overview of the session structure. We're going to be taking a look at some of our block explorers, and the newest one being Block Scout, which we're really excited about. And we have a quick demo on that as well. Next, taking a look at 2 developer tools today. So Hardhat and Truffle in this session. And then also taking a look at 2 of the ETH libraries we support, including ETH.js and Web3.js. So coming from Derek's talk, you probably already have an idea of what Moonbeam is, but just to reiterate, Moonbeam's primary goal is to bring seamless Ethereum compatibility to the Polkadot ecosystem. And we're more than just an EVM. So the EVM is really the base layer of the stack, but then there's a number of features that we have on top. So we're committed to providing a complete end-to-end Ethereum compatible developer experience. We want to offer as many of the tools that have been painstakingly built and refined over the last several years to be able to work flawlessly on Moonbeam as well. And it's not just about bringing over as many tools as possible, but we want to give developers the choice of whatever tools you're most comfortable with using. So before we can get started on any integrations, you may be wondering, well, how do we get started on Moonbeam, right? What's the best way to do it? And there's really 2 paths that you can take. You can run a local dev node. If you have Docker installed, it's as simple as a couple of commands, and you'll have a node up and running in just minutes. If you'd prefer to compile your own binary, you can do that as well. Just a few more commands, and then depending on the speed of your system, it could take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to be fully compiled and running. But the beauty of having a dev node is that it's instant sealing. So if you've ever used Truffle or Ganache, you know that Ganache is kind of waiting in the background, waiting for you to submit a transaction. And then as soon as you do, it gets confirmed instantly. So there's no waiting around for 10 or 15 or 20 seconds for each of your transactions. Everything goes through and is instantly confirmed. So that's kind of the beauty of running a dev node. But if you want something that's closer to production, I recommend checking out Moonbase Alpha, which is a testnet that's been public for quite some time. And it's got a number of interesting features. So we've got public HTTP and WebSocket endpoints. We've got a token faucet in our Discord. So just go ahead and find the AlphaNet bot in our Discord. You can go ahead and get some tokens delivered to your wallet. And then we also have live staking and governance features on Moonbase Alpha. So really a great place to start, either a dev node or Moonbase Alpha. So moving on to block explorers. Moonbase, we support a number of block explorers, right? The first one being Block Scout. Block Scout's currently live on Moonbase Alpha. And Block Scout provides a comprehensive and intuitive interface for users to view, confirm, and inspect transactions on EVM blockchains. It's also open source, and it was built with transparency in mind. And perhaps the most important feature of Block Scout is the ability to view and verify published smart contract code. Block Scout's got a number of other interesting features, including real-time transaction tracking, UI interaction with smart contracts, and a full-featured API with GraphQL and ETH RPC. and you can actually test API calls directly from the web interface, which is quite convenient. BlockScout's also got ERC20 and ERC721, so NFT token support. Now, if you've been in the Polkadot ecosystem for a while, you're probably familiar with Polkadot.js. It's kind of the standard Polkadot dashboard. It's very easy to switch between networks. So you have Polkadot, Kusama, you have Moonbase Alpha, you can have a locally running dev node, and you can switch between all those networks quite easily. You also have governance support and staking support. So you can check out nominators, validators, that type of information. Finally, we have Subscan. That's the second substrate-based blockchain explorer. So it's capable of parsing standard and custom modules. It provides information for staking, validators, and nominators. But it also has governance tracking, so you can submit a proposal, you can vote on a referendum, that type of thing. So let's take a quick look at BlockScout. So here I have a simple contract loaded. You can see here that the code here has a green check mark next to it. So if we go and check that out, it's a very simple couple of lines of code. All we're doing is we have the ability to set a text and change that. But the green check mark here means that the Solidity code has been uploaded to BlockScout and it's been verified. We can see right now what it said was hello Illuminate. So let's go ahead and change that. We're just going to change it to something simple like hello world. We're going to confirm that transaction. It'll take just a few seconds to get confirmed. But the beauty and the importance of this, right, is that users have the confidence that the smart contract is doing exactly what they think it is. So being able to authenticate this code, check it out, that's been verified. It's very important, in a production blockchain, and it's good to have this feature, in a testnet as well. So we can see that this has been confirmed. So we'll go ahead and just make sure that the read contract has the information has been changed. Yep. So hello world has been changed. This is just a simple contract, but want to demonstrate exactly one of the features that you can use with BlockScout. So we're really excited about that. If we go back to the presentation, let's take a look at Truffle, right? So if you're coming from the Ethereum developer world, you know that Truffle is one of the most important development frameworks and most popular development frameworks. And part of the reason for that is because it's so fun and easy to just get started with a project, right? So we have a specially designed Moonbeam Truffle Box, and we make it easy to get started. And what that means is that you don't have to have a locally running node with Docker or through a compiled binary. You can get started with just the Truffle box, and we'll take care of everything. So with the Moonbeam Truffle plugin, we provide fast setup for running a local Moonbeam node with Docker. So we'll get you going with that. And then Moonbeam Truffle Box also supports HD Wallet Provider. And what that is Truffle provides a hierarchical deterministic wallet Web3 provider. And this allows you to sign transactions using private keys that are derived from a 12-word mnemonic. And this is really, really important for when you're working with a bunch of accounts. You don't want to be copying and pasting a bunch of private keys. You can instead have a single seed, and that will also allow you to generate multiple accounts as needed for testing. So to get started with Truffle, make sure you define the provider in Truffle config. Make sure that you have a HTTP endpoint setup. So for the testnet, that would be rpc.testnet.moonbeam.network. Make sure that you also have the network ID set. For the testnet, that would be 1287. Okay, moving on to Hardhat. So Hardhat is a popular Ethereum development framework. It's really focused on testing and debugging. They place a huge emphasis on the debugging experience, providing Solidity stack traces, console.log, and explicit error messages when transactions fail. So to get started with Hardhat, the configuration that you'll need to fill out is to make sure that you have the link to the HTTP endpoint and the chain ID. So again, the chain ID is 1287, and then the link to the Moonbase Alpha testnet is rpc.testnet.moonbeam.network. For Hardhat, you're also going to have to provide a private key to one of your test accounts. Even though it's just a test account, make sure you're storing that information securely. It's a good practice. Okay, moving on to ETH libraries. So for Web3.js, this is a very important set of libraries for developers to interact with Ethereum nodes using HTTP, using IPC or WebSocket protocols with JavaScript. So if you have a web application or you have a mobile application, you need to get data from a blockchain, you need to check on some accounts, check on the state of the blockchain, or you need to create new accounts. Anything like that can be done with Web3.js. And so it's a really, really important framework. Moonbeam has an Ethereum-like API available that's fully compatible with Ethereum-style JSON RPC. So right out of the box, you can leverage this compatibility, and you can use the Web3.js library to interact with the Moonbeam node, just as you were doing so on Ethereum. So this is very, very powerful, and this kind of compatibility is important to have right away. So in order to get started with Web3.js, make sure that you define a provider with an HTTP endpoint. In this case, that's rpc.testnet.moonbeam.network. And then we also support Ether.js JavaScript library, which is quite similar to Web3.js. Again, it's fully compatible with Ethereum-style JSON RPC invocations. And in order to get started with Ether.js, you need a couple things. Make sure that you have the HTTP endpoint set up, rpc.testnet.moonbeam.network. And then make sure you have your chain ID set to 1287 for the testnet. So we have a number of integrations on the Moonbase Alpha testnet, so many that we couldn't cover them all today. And so this was just a quick overview to get you started. We have, the normal dev tools. We have MetaMask, Remix, Truffle, Hardhat, all those. We also have Web3.py. We have block explorers, oracles, indexing protocols, pub and sub, which is all really, really, really exciting. We actually just announced our integration with the Graph last week. We're very excited about that. And as you may know, the Graph is a decentralized service for indexing and querying data from blockchains. Now, on Moonbeam, developers will be able to use the Graph to be able to build and publish subgraphs in the Polkadot environment, which is really exciting. I encourage you to check out our website, docs.moonbeam.network. Try out some of the tutorials. We've got plenty of them. Reach out to us in the Discord with any questions or concerns or feedback on these. And I just want to emphasize that these integrations, they're not announcements or pre-launch products. These are live, and you can go out and check them out today and use them, and we hope that you will. So just a friendly reminder to check out Alberto's Balancer demo. It's in a little less than an hour and a half at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, which uses the Balancer subgraph integration, which is really, really cool. So please get in touch with us, moonbeam.network. Go to our docs site, which is docs.moonbeam.network. Get involved with the community on Discord. Check out our YouTube channel, our Reddit, our Twitter. And if you're new to Moonbeam, I want to give you a warm welcome to the community, and we look forward to seeing you around. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Good work, Kevin. Thanks, everybody. And we'll up next is going to be Biconomy. So we'll see you there.